Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here to talk about this idea that I had about could the Microsoft Surface Duo 2 be the new BlackBerry? And I don't necessarily mean replace BlackBerry, but it's one of those things that you have to look at in the market now. We haven't had a new BlackBerry in over 3 years. We still don't have the new one that was supposed to be here by the end of June this year, so I'm sure there are a lot of people looking elsewhere, especially with these older phones. I've got my Key One. I was actually carrying it around with me today and using it. I've got my SIM card in here. AT&T, it's still working, so thank goodness there. But I was also using my Surface Duo, and I thought, okay, the Duo 2 is coming out. The Duo 1 largely, in a lot of ways, was a flop. And it didn't do everything we had hoped that it would. And it just seems like Microsoft kicked it to the curb as soon as it hit the market. With the Duo 2 coming out, it looks like there's so many different refinements, so many different hardware upgrades, so many different features that they toss in there. It's going to be way better than what we even thought that the original Surface Duo would be. So I wanted to talk about this idea that maybe it could be the new BlackBerry for a lot of people. Somebody who doesn't want to use a keyboard phone that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years old. You want something that's wrapped around business and professionalism and brings you all of your office stuff and your work all the way to the forefront. You can do it seamlessly. You have a great communications tool. You've got 2 different screens to use, and the Surface Pen, the list goes on and on. So there are some reasons I think, other than just the fact that they're behind the power curve most of the time and they're late with updates, and I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother joke. But if you're a BlackBerry fan, this might be worthwhile to watch, because I've got some insight on it. I want to talk about it. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's talk about this Surface Duo BlackBerry idea. So it's really funny. The original BlackBerries that everybody loves so much started off really as an extension of being able to be tuned into work. It was a way to still have access to your email as the digital age started to envelop everything, and work and communication outside of work and always being in the loop really became such a big thing. It was in a new era where it's not like, okay, I work from 8 to 5, you can't get a hold of me afterward if I'm off on the weekend. Unless I go to the office, we're not going to get any updates on stuff. So it started off with CEOs and professionals and business professionals, and it really was a great way to allow people to stay connected and have access to their email away from work. It took off. It was just this big wildfire that took off, and then that really created, I think, what we get here with the modern smartphone. Where we're at, what happened with the BlackBerry, the Pearl, the Bold, the Curve, ultimately getting to like the Torch and all that stuff, and then the BlackBerry 10 operating system, which was really the pinnacle of everything. And then it started to go like that because there's a lot of reasons that they missed the boat, but still a lot of us still love BlackBerry phones. I do. I'm probably the biggest fan. I still make videos about them. I absolutely love BlackBerry. And today I was carrying my Key One around with me, and this Key One Black Edition, even today, 4 years old, I love it. It is such a nice looking phone. This is probably the best Android looking BlackBerry they made. I actually like the way it looks better than the Key 2. If this one had the Key 2 internals, I would be super, super happy. So what is it that we cared about when it came to BlackBerry? Communication, email, being able to type on a physical keyboard, multitasking, hotkeys. All that stuff was really, really cool. I mean, being able to swipe up and down on the keyboard was a nice addition too. So we've always been focused on work, and it's like, okay, we don't need these apps, we don't need these games, we don't need social media. I just need my physical keyboard, my email, my hub, all that stuff. And it's worked really well. It's been a good formula for success for people who care about the brand for a long time. Unfortunately, we haven't had a new BlackBerry in a long time, and we still don't have the new one that Onward Mobility has promised us. It was supposed to be here the end of July, or the end of June rather. So it finds us in a precarious position. But that doesn't mean there's not other options out on the horizon. I've been waiting to talk about this. I'm going to make another video once I have the phone, because mine's going to be here on the 21st. I have the original Surface Duo here. And buying it the second time, getting it for $600, I like it a lot more than I did the first one that I paid like $1,500 for and had problems. So the first one, riddled with issues, software problems, abandonment issues, all sorts of question marks, and the price just straight through the floorboard to where you can get one of these locked to AT&T even now for $400. That's a steal of a deal. Snapdragon 855, it's got enough battery, mostly to kind of get you through the day. It's got these dual screens on here. It's got Surface Pen support. It's really a neat device, and it's a great tandem device. It's a great one to carry along with you. If you want to have like an iPhone or like a Samsung Galaxy phone, and then you want to carry one of these on the side for business, that's how I like to use mine, as a tandem phone. I have my Microsoft Exchange hooked in there. I do all my email stuff on here all the time. I do my Zoom calls. The modern era of business, Microsoft Teams, Slack, all that stuff is great on here. You can have both of them pulled up at the same time. You can be running Slack on one screen and Microsoft Teams on the other screen. You can even have an icon over here where you have two different apps where whenever you tap on it, it pulls them both up at the same time. This right here is the next level of productivity, and a lot of people, I think, I hate using this expression, have been sleeping on it because they've been so turned off by the lack of success and the failure whenever it comes to delivery on this product. However, looking at the Duo 2, we're going to have a brand new Surface Pen. We're going to have better screens, 90 hertz refresh rate. We're going to have the edge display in between the folding hinge here to where you can see at least notifications and stuff. We're going to have a top-of-the-line Snapdragon 888 processor, more RAM, more battery, Android 11 straight out of the box, and hopefully a lot of the problems from the previous one will be fixed. We even have a triple camera setup now. Not just two. This isn't even like the Pixel where it's like, okay, you get the wide angle and the regular one. You get the wide angle, the primary camera, and you get the telephoto. So you get all three of them. This new device, I think, will finally realize the potential that the first one didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't come down to price. Like, I really don't like the price. That's very un-BlackBerry-like. Like, nobody was ever paying $1,500, $1,600 for BlackBerry. But they usually weren't particularly cheap. I mean, when they first came out in the consumer market, you were talking like $500, $600 for a phone back then when you could go get an LG or an Ericsson for $200. So they've never been the cheapest. They've always been flagship level prices, but this is a brave new world that we're talking about here. The reason I compare this and I say it could be the new BlackBerry is because it's so built around the fundamentals of business, communication, being a multitasking productivity platform. This is not just a, hey, I'm going to get this so I can play Boom Beach on one screen and I can play Fortnite on the other screen. This isn't so you can do a bunch of gaming, which of course you can if you want to. That's the great thing about it. You can connect an Xbox controller and use your Xbox Game Pass and stream your games on here. Cloud gaming. It's nice. It's actually really ideal for that stuff. And it's also cool if you get like a Nintendo DS emulator because it looks just like it when you put the screen on the top and the bottom. Anyway, gaming is another story. I'm going to test out the new one for gaming and show you all that cool stuff when it gets here. But from a day-to-day perspective, using this, I love to use it for email. I love it for Zoom. I love it for Duo. I love it for Slack and Microsoft Teams. This has been my go-to over the last probably 6 months, ever since I got it. When I wake up in the morning, I look over, I grab this, I start checking my email, I take it while I have my coffee, I take it out to my desk. While I'm using it throughout the day, I can even be doing work on my desk and I still pull this up to look at emails and notifications that I get. It's really a great supplemental and tandem device to use for work. But now the new Surface Duo 2 is going to take it to the next level because it should have all-day battery. It should be more smooth and efficient. It's going to have more stuff that makes it to where it could be a primary device, whereas this one really I thought was always terrible as a primary device. So I'm looking forward to it. And for people who are hanging on to a Priv, to a D-Tech 50 or 60, to a BlackBerry Passport, they're going to be forced to move over, the new Duo 2 might be a good option for some people who are really, money is not an object. I want the greatest and the latest in productivity. I want something I can use as a standalone device that allows me to do work and also personal stuff at the same time, where I don't have to make sacrifices. This one, you had to make so many sacrifices to carry this as a daily driver. The new one, I think, will be much, much less. And it's still, I think, going to be kind of annoying to make phone calls. I don't have a problem holding it like this to make a phone call. I don't think it's too big. I don't have the largest hands in the world. I think most people will be fine with it, but it's not as simple as just a regular phone call. But the thing is most people don't make phone calls anymore. And I was having a conversation about that today. If somebody calls me, it's usually someone I don't want to talk to. It's usually bad news or somebody wants something. We really are in a digital communication age now where everything is mostly through social media. If you want to talk to somebody, people use Facebook Messenger, they use Slack, they use Microsoft Teams, they use WhatsApp, they use Twitter, they use all sorts of different things, Instagram DMs, whatever. It's not really an analog world now where it's all text messages and phone calls. So I think that the Duo 2 really does bring a lot of extra stuff that a lot like the Duo 1 left out on, and also different things that you don't even get with the BlackBerry anymore because it's kind of dated. And in March of 2022, just a short couple months down the road, BlackBerry's not even going to provide support for them anymore. They're going to be not updated ever again. So moving forward, you can still get the BlackBerry Android software suite if you want it on here. You can still get the hub on here and turn it into like a Microsoft BlackBerry Duo 2. So I think that there's some cool stuff here. The only thing I don't care for is the price tag. If you wait a couple of months, it's probably going to drop a lot. I hope not, because I'm paying a lot of money for this phone. But looking at it from a business perspective, from a productivity perspective, it really is cutting edge when you look at the idea of productivity and multitasking with what's on the horizon and what's here today. Yes, the BlackBerry was it before. And yeah, if we do get another BlackBerry, I'm going to be 100% on board with it. It'll be my primary phone, and this will probably be my secondary phone, but it's still not here yet. So we're still waiting on that. The new Duo 2 is going to be here in a few days. It's something that I think if you're in that boat, if you've got money, if you've got a business account, if you don't have to spend your personal money on this, or if it's something that you just really, really want, I think it can be the new productivity tool for people who are looking to use something like that as a day-to-day communications tool, or as a really, really nice tag-along tandem sidekick phone to allow you to do all your business stuff. So I wanted to talk about that in this video. I thought it had merit. It was something that came to me because as somebody who still uses BlackBerries occasionally when I still want to use my keyboard phone, and as somebody who loves the multitasking capability of the Duo and is waiting on the Duo 2, I had the idea, and I'm like, you know what? There could be something here. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about this because I want to know what you guys think as well. And thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.